Good evening, everyone. Do you know who you're sitting next to right now? Do you know whom you're married to, who your friends are, maybe who your parents truly were, even in their younger years? Could you imagine finding out that one of your loved ones is a serial killer? This is what happened to Paula Dietz. She was the BTK's wife. We look forward now to technology and how this isn't 1970 anymore when she married her husband. It's now 2024, and we have great amounts of technology that can aid us in not only knowing our loved ones more, but also prevent being victimized by anyone, a loved one, a stranger. There's a lot of preventative measures that you can take. My name is Sandra Bullock. I am a criminal justice major. I earned my associate's degree in May of 2023, having worked for the Marine Corps from 2008 to 2013 as a family readiness officer, often helping families that are in crisis, victims of a crime, or facing difficult times throughout their life. It was very honoring to work and humbling to work for Marines. It taught me a lot about avoiding being a victim, even in a small community. Now, Paula Dietz was married to the BTK killer, which stands for blind, torture, and kill, because that's how he wanted his victims to be. He would blind them, he would torture them, and then he would kill them. She did not know she was in any danger. To her, that was her husband. It was someone that she was married to for 34 years. She was a mother, a friend, a daughter, and he was a husband. He was an employee. He was an active member of their congregation in church. He had blinded everyone. And that truly must have come as a shock to her when police showed up and informed her that her husband was indeed a serial killer because he admitted to it. He was almost proud of himself. This was a secret that he held inside of him so deep that he was so proud of and ready to explode. Paula had never realized the danger she was in, but she was one of his greatest victims. At this point, to date, in 2024, we know that he has confessed to 10 killings. However, there could be more. It started out as 9 that he confessed to, but then the 10th one, later on, he decided to fess up to. So who knows how many more there was. These women that he attacked, and the way he did it, and the victims, and the children, and the husbands, ultimately, back in 1970s, maybe it could have been prevented, but the technology wasn't as advanced as it is today. I look at this and think to myself, we now have Ring cameras, home security systems, and there's a lot of advice that can be given so that people don't actually become victims. Like not posting onto social media your location and allowing the whole world to see, A, you're not home, and B, where you're at and who you're with. There was one person actually that was almost a victim of the BTK killer, Anna Williams. And he waited in her home, and she took too long to get home, so he didn't murder her. Instead, he psychologically tortured her by mailing her her own belongings. Isn't that crazy to think about, knowing that someone was in your home that was waiting to kill you? Now, we can prevent victimization in many ways, especially, like I said, with the technology that we have. But also, there's nothing greater than what my mother used to tell me. Trust your gut instinct. She would say it all the time. Do you feel it's wrong? Do you feel like something is out of sorts? Believe in that gut instinct no matter what situation that you find yourself in. Also, think like a killer. Be smarter than the killer. A lot of us watch crime documentaries just for fun, and we always say that we're more aware of how a killer would think by watching these. The only gift that the BTK killer actually gave us was he let us know how he victimized people so that we can prevent that in the beginning. Understanding these serial killers and how this happens is actually something that they give so that we can prevent being victims. There are dangerous situations everywhere, and you're not always going to be aware of what's going on around you. But in this case, I absolutely think that we can prevent being victims. In the long run, Paula couldn't. She didn't have the technology even to be able to look at her husband's cell phone and track him, or look at his profile, or see what he was searching and researching. Nowadays, we can prevent it to the best of our ability. May it happen still? Absolutely. But again, to be aware, that's the most important thing. Do your research, trust your instinct, and truly, truly surround yourself with people that you know and trust. Thank you very much and have a great evening.